Jono. Hey, tonight we have a special guest with us in the studio. He is a six-time paracycling champion and has also represented New Zealand at a world championship level. He is a patron of the Special Olympics South Canterbury and is heavily involved in the community of Timaru. Please welcome Jono Nelson. Hey,
Yeah,
bro.
good, thanks.
That's cool. Yeah, thanks for joining us, bro.
Yeah,
That's
no
awesome.
worries.
Now, Jono, there are some pretty major achievements in there, bro. And it's pretty safe to say that you don't let your disability hold you back.
No. So I don't let my disability define who I am, It's, I basically, I love a good challenge and to overcome things, and I love to prove people wrong.
Cool.
Mm. Yeah.
So, can you explain to our listeners what your disability is and what you've had to endure with it, bro? Because I can tell that there's probably quite a harrowing story in there of what you've had to go through to get to where you are now.
Yeah, so I was born with spina bifida. So spina bifida basically means if you get a piece of string and chop it in half, one half of me works, one half of me doesn't. So everything below the waist is paralysed, but everything from the waist up is all good. So I can walk short distances on crutches, but mainly rely on my wheelchair to get around. In my 40 years of life, I've had 38 operations to give me quality of life. When I was born, I was also 8 weeks preem, so I was only 2 pound 9 ounces. I was actually meant to be born on Christmas Day, but arrived on the 28th of October, so that's...
oh, wow, so that's quite a wee way before Christmas.
Yeah. But I'm quite thankful that didn't happen because I wouldn't have got lots of presents.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, life has had its challenges. I also contracted meningitis in the first 2 weeks of my life. So, I've kept my parents on their toes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like meningitis is a real aggressive disease too, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So it can be like really,
Yeah.
make or break, hey? Yeah. So were you born and bred in Timaru, bro?
No, I was born in Whakatāngi and spent most of my first year of life at Middlemore Hospital. And then we moved to the West Coast when I was 3, and I've lived in Timaru since I was 5.
Oh, okay, nice. And what do you love about living in Timaru?
I just love the community, especially when I was doing my sporting career. It was awesome for fundraising and things like that. Everyone got in behind all the athletes and, around Timaru. It was great. Yeah,
and it's just, I think it's a really great place to live too. Like it's we've discussed this in other podcasts that it's a really great place to sort of bring your kids up and just good quality of life.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. And in terms of cycling and stuff like that, the amount of hills we've got around
that's
awesome.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting that you were born in Whakatānea too. My sister lives in Whakatānea.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's a pretty little place, Whakatānea.
Yeah. To be fair, I went back there as a 13-year-old, so I can't really remember too much. But I'd like to go back up there.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Nice. And and you're married to a lovely lady named Sharon?
Yes, that's correct.
So how did you guys meet?
So we both did the internet dating thing, but so we used to race go-karts together actually, back in our younger day, but there's a 7-year age difference, so I was 10 and she was 17, so back in those days there was obviously no attraction, and then we did the online dating thing, and she came around to my flat, actually on the day I moved into my second flat, and you can say the rest is history.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. And you guys have been married for a wee while?
Yeah, 14 years.
Oh, wow.
15 next year, so...
Yeah, that's a good innings, bro. Well done. Nice. So, you from your bio, it said that you're learning how to speak Te Reo Māori.
Aye.
Yeah, no, and how's that going for you?
Yeah, good. So, when I was doing hang cycling, I felt like I needed another challenge because all I was talking about was cycling day in, day out.
Yeah.
And Sharon was getting a bit sick of it. And so I looked for a new challenge. So I've been on this journey of Learning Te Reo Māori for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's an up and down journey, but on the whole, it's been pretty amazing. And what I found is in the Māori culture is I get so warmly welcomed, like nothing's a problem.
Yeah.
Like in Pākehā society, I find that, the two too quick to put up health and safety barriers.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that because you're in a wheelchair type attitude. And, you know, when I'm at, say, at the marae at Te Aotearoa, you know, they're always fully supportive of what I do, and, you know, I never get left behind.
Oh, that's
You know,
awesome.
I'm just one of the boys, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is, I think you're right too, it's that Māori culture sort of lends itself to, you know, just making sure everyone's included.
Yes.
You know, and just making sure everyone's a part of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, despite what's hold you back in any way.
Yep.
And so you're doing that at Ara Polytechnic?
Yeah, so our course is through Ara, but we have our classes at Te Aotearoa on a Tuesday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then out every term we do a noho marae at a different marae. So this term I think it's at Hakatiri. So
nice. So what really was your inspiration for learning te reo? Is it are you whakapapa?
No, I'm Pākehā.
Yep.
But when I was at high school, I actually wanted to learn. But mum and dad said no, because you know, back in the 90s, you know, ideas of thinking were a bit different to what they are now.
Yep.
They wanted me to learn French or German,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to have a bar of that.
Yeah.
And then I saw at Te Aotearoa 3 years ago, they had free courses, and I thought, oh, I'll give this a go, and I've been there ever since.
Yeah.
And I've pretty much fully immersed myself. So on a Monday night is kapahaka, Tuesday night's reo class, and on a Wednesday I catch up with our local kaumātua at the marae, and we practice whai kōrero.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. And so you also said that you help out in the gardens as well?
Yeah, so Te Aotearoa have got a community garden, and through my work I take one of my clients there on a Wednesday and a Friday, and I do a bit of volunteer work as well, you know, because I feel that it's good to lead by example.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, bro. That you've immersed yourself in that culture, even though you're a Pākehā.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool to see. You know, and like it's good to see that, you know, that you sort of doing that as well on the side. So any details there? Like, can anyone be involved with that, or can you?
Yeah. So the best way is probably to contact Ara. Like they have level 2 8-week course, which is for like absolute beginners. Then they have a level 2 course and a level 3 course. And there's talk for next year for a level 4 course, which is the start of full immersion.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I sort of want to head to.
Yeah.
Because I'm at a stage now where I can start having, I can have a basic conversation, but, you know, I just need...
Just getting that fluent all the way, yeah.
And another thing that me and Jan, the kaumātua that I meet up with on a Wednesday, we've got a coffee group going on a Saturday at Coffee Culture, where people can come along, and the kaupapa is to kōrero Māori for 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
And we do that from 8:30 to 9:30 on a Saturday.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome, bro. No, that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, I would really love to talk about your career as a paracyclist.
Yes.
Okay, you're a 6-time New Zealand champion.
Yep.
And so what really inspired you to get into paracycling in the first place, bro?
So prior to getting into paracycling, I actually did athletics. And in 2001, my health took a turn for the worst, and I ended up with a really bad urine infection. And I had an internal bleeding and all the rest of it. And I remember the urologist coming around the day after I got admitted and said, "Oh, Jono, you're unable to do wheelchair racing now because it's bad for your health." And I thought, oh no, this is the end of my life, you know, what am I going to do? So I ended up having to have major surgery. So I did nothing for 6 weeks and put on 10 kgs. So I weighed around 70 odd kgs, which is quite heavy for me. And I went to a hang cycling have a go day, and went from there.
Yeah. No, and so so you've competed obviously right around New Zealand, or?
Yeah, all around New Zealand. I've been to quite a few places in Australia. I've raced in Europe and Canada as well.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what country did you find like was the best one to race in?
Switzerland, because it's dead flat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No hills, eh?
Well, there is hills, but where we did our time trial was along the Lucerne River.
Yeah.
So,
Sort of nice and
yeah,
flat. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
and near road surfaces, like there's nothing that rough, none of that rough chip like we have here in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Timaru.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They say that too. Like when you go overseas and that, the roads are so much
yeah,
smoother. Like
yeah,
over here, it's sort of
yeah,
quite
yeah,
rough and quite dense.
yeah, and it's quite interesting going to other countries and see how they treat their disabled people.
Okay.
And in some countries you realise how lucky you are to live in New
Oh,
Zealand.
okay, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So like some countries are like a little bit less accepting of
yeah,
people in
yeah,
wheelchairs and that.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
wow. Okay. So like sometimes, bro, I've seen you on the bike.
Yep.
Like I've seen you out on the
Yep.
bike and that. And like just watching you, I could tell that must take an incredible amount of upper strength.
Yes.
How do you train for something like working racing and paracycling?
So when I was training hard out, I trained 6 days a week. So that equated to easy week was 150 k's, and a hard week was 300.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and those bikes look expensive, mate. They don't look too
brand
cheap.
new bike from America was 30k.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Jeez, that's a lot of money, eh? Just
Yeah.
spending on a bike.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And like, is it because you're quite low to the ground?
Yes, yes.
Is it quite hard to get in and out of one of these bikes?
I'm lucky that I've got a big amount of mobility, so it's not too hard for me.
Yeah.
But someone with a higher degree of disability, yeah, they are quite hard to, they need quite a bit of help.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And you're able to just to get into
Yeah,
one by yourself?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So you also mentioned, Bo, that you're a patron of Special Olympics in South Canterbury. Can you explain to our listeners what that means?
Okay, so Special Olympics South Canterbury is a sporting group for people, athletes with an intellectual disability. So they meet up in the winter on a Tuesday night and play football, soccer. And in the summer, on a Tuesday, they meet up and do athletics.
Mm.
And with my work through New Zealand Community Living, I take some of my people I support to this. And with my sporting background, I got asked whether I'd be interested to be their patron.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Nice. That's cool.
Mm.
Yeah, because we one of our boys here in the men's group, he does I think he does the football as well.
Yes.
With the with the South Canterbury
Yes.
Special Olympics, and
Yes.
I think they go to Dunedin quite often to
Yeah,
do
well,
like
they've just
tournaments
started
and that.
doing that this year. This year I've taken a year off with helping at soccer because it's the same night as my real course.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So but next year, all going well, I'll be back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You really enjoy doing that? You're helping out with that too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I was coaching for most of last year.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
no choice.
Yeah.
So, hey, that honestly, listening to that, it sounds like a really sort of an amazing life with a lot of highs and lows.
Yes.
So one thing I like to sort of talk about with all my guests that come in is just to sort of normalize these conversations as well, is how do you sort of deal with your mental health? How do you deal with the highs and the lows of your mental health? And how does that work for you?
Oh, good question. So I find exercise is a really good way for me to manage my mental health. If I feel like I'm having a down day, I'll just go out for a bike ride. And the best thing for me is to go out into the country, and it's a good way for me to clear my head, and not being afraid to talk to people. Like my wife or maybe a close mate. I have a guy who goes riding with me now, and we just talk about random stuff. And it's amazing how much better you come away. After doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think it is too. It's sort of breaking down those barriers of that masculinity as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
We've always sort of been taught as men to sort of be harden up
Yeah.
and don't talk about things like that.
Yep.
But I think that sort of it's become an old school narrative now.
Very much so.
And I think it's like a lot of men now are finding it that it's a lot healthier to be able to talk about these things, and you're not looked at in any different way.
Very much so. Yeah.
It's not being judged for it. Yeah, that's right. So do you have any words of advice for anyone out there that is looking at taking their sporting career to that next level?
Well, first of all, you've got to have fun, and that's the most important thing. And it has to be something that you want to do. So I started my sporting career at the age of 8, and I retired from hand cycling last year in April. But my parents always said to me, if you want to give up, you can do it. That there was no pressure there for me to keep going. So yeah, but the most important thing is to have fun and find a sport that you're passionate about.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. How do you feel about like the community in Timaru? How do you feel like our community here can improve? Because obviously there's been a few things recently that have happened in Timaru
Yes,
that have sort of that have inhibited Timaru a little bit.
yep,
The Theatre Royal thing and
yep.
the Smithfield proposed closures going on. So how do you think that we could improve this community as a whole in Timaru?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we just need to keep moving forward, and get on with building things, because if we're not careful, I think the likes of Ashburton are going to go streets ahead of us.
Mm.
They've already got a new library, which I've been to twice, and it's pretty flash.
Yep.
And I hear that they're going to start building a hotel on the old library site.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they got a Kmart too.
Yes. yeah, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we won't talk about Kmart. For all our lady listeners out there, that are feeling a bit salty about Ashburton having a Kmart.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with you, Jono, that there are a lot of things here. We do have a good infrastructure base here.
Yeah.
But I think there's room for us to expand.
Oh, very much so.
And but I think as well that we need to include those local businesses as well.
Yes.
There are a lot of local businesses down here in Timaru that, especially in Stafford Street, doing it hard, eh?
Yes. Yeah. It's very hard at the moment. Like I have a friend who owns a furniture shop, and he says, it's hard in retail. People just not spending money. And yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we've just had the Newman's closed down here as well.
Yeah.
And it's tough times.
Very much so.
Especially with their cost of living going up as well. Cost of living is going up, unemployment is getting worse.
Yep.
So it's a tough time.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jono, I really want to thank you for telling your story, bro. I really do, and it's really you're a really inspiring individual. I think a lot of people would benefit from hearing your story. And getting it out there, and I really thanks for that, bro. You're really, you're really determined.
Yep.
And we can tell that from your story.
Yep.
So, before we sort of round off with things, I like to, we like to do sort of like 10 quick fire questions.
Yep.
And we do this with all our guests.
Yep.
And it's nothing strenuous. It's just, it's just sort of the first thing that comes to your head.
Yep.
And so we like to do this with all our guests
Awesome.
as well. Okay, so we'll get into that. So what's your go-to lazy dinner?
Oh, fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Yeah.
Yep.
Where do you go for your fish and chips? That's the key question.
Highfield, the one opposite New World.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Highfield. Yeah. Highfield's good. Yeah, they do good Chinese up there.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. But in terms of fish and chips, I think I do like Markle as well. Markle's.
I live over that side of town, and we've tried Markle twice, but I find their fish is a bit too fatty for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, Highfield is pretty good, and I think they've just sort of recently changed owners not that long ago too. Yeah. So, but no, they do. I agree. They do a good fish and chip in there.
Yeah.
What never fails to make you laugh?
Oh, a good joke, and one that's I like jokes that aren't very PC.
Yeah. I think we all like a good joke that's not too
especially
PC.
ones that involve the disability community.
Yeah. No, that's cool, and that's cool that you're able to sort of laugh at it, yourself as well. That's awesome. What was your last impulse buy?
don't actually know. Yeah. Oh no. So probably the last impulse buy would be well, we went to Australia a few months ago, and I brought a few T-shirts and stuff. So I guess that was a
Yeah. Where'd you go in Australia?
Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Yeah, awesome, mate. So it was quite interesting. So we stayed in Burleigh Heads, and they've got this blue matting that goes along the beach, so it's totally wheelchair friendly.
Oh, wow.
And they have these beach wheelchairs that you hop on and you can take them right into the ocean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen those on TikTok, actually.
Yeah, so apparently we've got them here in Timaru, but you need to go get a key and then go unlock and go get it.
Oh, okay.
You know, and for me that is not very spontaneous. You should just be able to...
Just be able to do it, eh? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is quite cool. Did you get a bit of a tan while you were over there?
Yeah. Yeah, 25, 27 degrees most days.
Yeah. I have family that live over there, you know, and they're always sort of going on about the temperatures over there, and I'm like, geez, I just don't know if I could handle that, eh? The temperature's crazy. Do you have a bucket list, and what's one thing on it?
Oh, yes, I do have a bucket list. So I'm actually going to do one of these on my bucket list next year. So I wanted to go on a boat cruise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I never thought that people in wheelchairs could do that sort of thing. So me and my wife were going from Sydney to Tasmania back to Sydney for a 5-day cruise.
Oh, wow.
In April next year. So
cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah. And I think now though, like a lot of the cruises now are very wheelchair friendly.
They are.
You know, so you know, no, I think you'll really enjoy that. Yeah. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Oh, so the best advice I ever received was from my wheelchair racing coach, Ben Lucas. And he told me to do every training session that a coach prescribes you, because there's nothing worse than getting to a start line thinking, oh, I should have done that training session.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, leave no stone unturned and, you know, dot the I's and cross the T's type. Yeah.
Just a spontaneous question. You get calluses doing that? Like with your hands?
So 2 years ago I did a race around the Coromandel, which was 200 kilometres.
Wow.
And I got blisters on my hands from doing that. So that was 10 hours and 37 minutes of hang cycling.
Wow.
I was the first hang cyclist in New Zealand and probably the world to ever do it. Unfortunately, the race doesn't run anymore. But so I was one of the last to do it. And
wow, that's great. 10 hours of...
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started at 6 o'clock in the morning and finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
And 2,000 metres of elevation.
Oh, and that, so uphill, yeah. So does it have gears?
Yeah, so I've got 30 gears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when you're going uphill, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, nice. Another stupid question. How do you change gears?
So with this modern technology, I've got electronic gears. So it's done by a button and it works off a Bluetooth signal.
Oh, wow.
You just got to make sure that the battery's charged.
Yeah, no, nice. Okay, who inspires you?
Well, I have many people that have inspire me. So now that I'm a retired athlete, I've got, and I'm in the Learning Te Reo Māori, I've got, people at the marae that inspire me, like fluent speakers in the language that I inspire to. Because I'm a very goal-orientated person, like I have goals that I want to achieve in the next 5 years within that space.
Yeah.
So, I look to them for guidance. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. What's your favourite comedy movie of all time?
Oh, any of the grown-ups movies.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah. Pretty much, you can't go wrong with the Adam Sandler movie.
I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah. No, he's done really well over his career. Now I see they're making a Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And that should be good.
Yeah.
It should be good. What's your most hilarious travel mishap or misadventure?
Ooh.
Seeing as how you've sort of travelled all around the world in this.
I've had a few. So when I was a wheelchair racing athlete back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was known for losing stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So the team manager on one event put a lanyard around my neck, and I even managed to lose that. So, so yeah, but yeah, my most memorable would be going to Belgium and going to the Anzac Gallipoli, where our New Zealand soldiers are buried.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a moving experience.
Yeah, I gather that. I've heard a lot of people say that too. That that anyone that sort of goes there, it's sort of very very humbling. Because it's such a special place.
Yeah.
For people in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. What is your most treasured childhood memory?
I guess all the hard work that my mum's put into me, like without her help and guidance out through the years, I wouldn't be able to do some of the stuff. Like the doctors told her when I was a baby that I wouldn't be able to sit up, talk, walk, do all those basic things. And she basically said, you just watch. And did physio on me every day. And, I probably wouldn't be able to do some of the things I can do now without her help and guidance.
Did you have any siblings, John?
Yeah, I've got a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so she lives in Te Reo as well, and she's got a couple of kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's pretty cool that, that your mum sort of, didn't sort of back down to that narrative, eh?
Yeah, and so I'll tell a bit of a story. So we went back up to the North Island when I was 13, and I actually went back to Middlemore Hospital and walked up to the doctor that told my mum that I wouldn't be able to walk, and you should have seen the look on his face. And
oh, wow.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty inspiring, bro. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And last question, who's your favourite superhero?
Oh, have to be Superman.
You have to be Superman.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So, hey, look, Jono, hey, thank you very much for joining me, bro. And it's been really cool having you in and like having a chat with you about what you do. I mean, like I said, you're a very inspiring individual, and I think a lot of people would really benefit from listening to what you've had to say and what you've had to go through to sort of become a 6-time world champion, a New Zealand champion.
Yeah.
And what is it? It's an H4.
Yeah. So in just say Paralympic sport, we're classified on our disability. So basically, the higher the number, the least disabled you are. The lower the number, the more disabled you are. So H4 basically means I'm racing against people that are paralysed from the waist down.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And like I said, like I said, a lot of people out there will be really inspired to hear, that you've overcome this disability and been able to travel around the world and accomplish what you've done. So thank you very much for coming in, bro, and telling your story like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
And it was really, really good to meet you.
Yeah, same to you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jono.